Hi everyone, it's Warren here from Overexposed 360, and today we're doing another Let's Play Dad's Play, First Play, and we're playing Eagle Flight, as you can see on the screen here. So Eagle Flight is a game where you basically is an eagle and you're flying around Paris, and this is definitely a game that I've been waiting for and looking forward to for quite a long time, because a flying simulator like this, an eagle flying simulator like this, is definitely extremely suited to VR, and I can imagine a lot of other people would want to have that feeling of flying like a bird, and this is exactly what you experience. As you can see on the screen right now, this game is gorgeous. You can see the beak of the eagle that you are, not you are in, but you are the eagle. And as we fly through Paris, you can see the trees, you can see the old buildings, and the iconic Eiffel Tower is just sitting over there as well. Sure, the graphics are not photorealistic, and I don't think the quality of graphics detract from the experience at all. It's still good enough and realistic enough for you to get a feel that you're flying through a real town, but definitely when you get closer up, you can see that it's not of photo quality, and is quite an artistic impression of it, and you do see a little bit of a paintbrush element, or not a cartoony, but more, yeah, it feels like it's more like a painting rather than a photo, which is fine. I get into this quite well, and I get quite immersed in this. As you can just see before there's animals running around, which is quite cool. When you swoop down, you see elephants and you see zebras running around Paris. And of course that Eiffel Tower, which I will try to get to. The control of the eagle is actually really easy. So you tilt your head to turn, you look up and down to elevate and get down lower. You can actually turn your head around without tilting, but obviously you'll be wrapped around a cord when flying through, and tilting just makes it a lot quicker. So it's like turning the plane sideways and flying up, which makes it a faster turn, whereas if you're turning your head around, it takes a little bit longer to turn. You also use the dual shock for this game, and there's only two buttons that you use on the dual shock, which is the right trigger and the left trigger. So the R2 button on the right trigger, it will help you speed up your flight, and the L2 is to slow down. So now we're at the Eiffel Tower. I always wanted to do this. I've seen some videos of it, and it's basically a fly straight through. This is the first time I'm playing this, and I have no issue flying right through. That feeling is actually quite sensational. You get the rush of looking, well, I actually had to look up in order for me to fly up, so I get that feeling that I am flying straight up. And it was nice and quick, and it was really intuitive. It was really easy. I had, as I said, this is the first time playing it. I have not tried this game before, and it was really easy just to get straight in there, control the speed and control the angles of the flight. And now we're really high up, so let's fly back down. So at the beginning, it'll take you through a few introductory items, like that's where your nest is, so it will take you to the game lobby. So we can basically follow that and fly it through there to get to the main menu screen. As you can see with the graphics and the turning, when we do a turn left or right, you can see that there's kind of a black bar that kind of moved across the screen. So not when I'm just turning my head, but it's when I tilt my head, there you go, left and right, it kind of got that black mark. And that's kind of like a comfort level that a lot of games developers have put in to make people less nauseous or sick. And also the other thing that you notice is you see the beak of the bird, and that kind of makes you feel like you're in the cockpit a little bit more. So again, it takes away the nauseating feeling that you might get when flying. So in the game lobby, as you can see, there's a story mode, a free flight, and an online matches. So let's go to online matches and see whether we can pick up a game. So currently with Eagle Flight, there's only one type of online matches. Is you get a group of 3 or so eagle together, and basically you have to go chase down a randomly placed rabbit and deliver it back to your nest. So it's almost like a game of football. It's kind of getting the football and deliver to the end zone. So it's a fun little game, but except I don't think I'm having much luck getting other online players on here. So I don't know whether because it's looking for an Australian server and it's not picking it up, or there's just not enough people playing Eagle Flight at the moment because it's kind of on day one that I'm doing this recording. so I might try again later. So let me just skip through this and go back to the game lobby. So going back to what I was talking about before, about the comfort mode and having those black bars on the left and right when you do the sharp turns. I find that in general that I don't really like the comfort mode. That's the same in Windlands and in Rigs. And I tend to turn everything off, and it gives you such a much better immersion into the game. And I find that some of those comfort settings actually make me feel worse, so I tend to turn it all off. So I'm trying to look for that in the settings here within Eagle Flight, and I'm disappointed that I can't turn in any of those comfort settings off. I do hope that they put it in so that I can turn it off, because it's a little bit annoying when you're turning and you see those black bars. It kind of takes away your view, and also it just seems yeah, like an easy thing to include for people that prefer not to have those comfort settings set into the game. Okay, so I'm just going to start a story mode and just do a little bit of playthrough so you can see kind of what it looks like with the first kind of rounds, chapters of the game.
Hungry and alone in the dark, instinct compels you to move toward heat and light. Someone is waiting for you in the outside world. Your mother and father, and someone else. This is your family. Years of flying over Paris have taught your parents everything there is to know about the city. Each district is full of life, prey and predators, dark corners and safe havens. One day, you too will know them all. Elephants like to assemble around the Louvre. The waterways here are teeming with fish, but watch out for the opportunistic vultures. Once a testament to human engineering, the Eiffel Tower has been reclaimed by nature. It still offers magnificent views, but only to the birds lucky enough to nest there. Crows hang around the Sacre-Cœur Basilica, using the tight alleyways to antagonize their prey and overcome predators with their wits. Bears also love the caverns under the hill. The shadowy archways and stone ceilings of the Pantheon provide an ideal refuge for the city's bats. Wolves are often seen roaming near the Botanical Garden, which is more jungle now than garden. Finally, Notre Dame. This part of the city has always been a refuge, a safe haven amidst the busy streets. This is your home.
Okay, so that's pretty much the introduction of the game, where you kind of following your parents flying around Paris. Those comfort settings bars is really annoying me. I'm not sure whether it is part of comfort level or whether the developer thinks that when a bird kind of turns, you can't see to the left or right. I'm not quite sure, but I really wish that I could turn them off. That there it goes again. It's really annoying me. And also the other thing that I noticed, that when you're passing through something quite narrow, it also blinkers off on both sides as well. It also, yeah, that kind of feels like a comfort thing for me, because those peripheral side images will be, there you go, like that, will be flying through your eyes really fast, so that could cause some nauseating feeling. But again, I prefer to see it than to blind it off like that with black bars. And the other thing with the controls that I've noticed is that you're encouraged to tilt your head to do the sharp turns, which will give you those black bars. But even if you're turning your head left and right, the eagle will actually fly that way as well. So again, I don't know whether this is a settings things or not. I think I want to be able to look left and right while the eagle still fly forward. So I can tilt to make it turn, but left and right, so I can just enjoy the view left and right. I can imagine that a bird can fly forward while looking to the left, I would think. So it's almost like in a cockpit when you're driving a car, the car still drive forward independently on where your head is looking. So I kind of thought that would be, yeah, that was a bit odd how it's implemented, where I turn left and right on the head, the eagle will fly that way. Which, I mean, it's intuitive, but at the same time, sometimes I feel like I want to look without me flying across that way. So this is the first chapter of the first mission. It's basically fly through all the rings, and I'm not doing very well on the first round. So I'll try this again. It's actually, it's almost like a speed run going through the rings and see how fast you can go through it. So with the single player mission or the story mode, there's various type of challenges that you do. So flying through the rings, collecting feathers, or finding certain items. They're kind of all different mini type games that you are encouraged to do. And this also gives you a really good sense of speed and flight when you're flying through really tight areas like this. So you're flying through the elephants, flying through the trees, flying underneath the bridge, flying through sewage tunnels, etc. And it is a great feeling. And in actual fact, I can imagine just forget about the story mode. I can just fly through this town and just do a speed run on my own and try to set records on my own and see how fast I can get through a tight turn or tight tunnel without killing myself, smacking in the wall, which I'll show you a little bit later. Is I mean, it's not graphic or anything, it just goes black, but you kind of feel the thud when you hit the wall, and you kind of get a bit don't get queasy, but it's an impact. So overall, I think that this is a fantastic game. As I said earlier, who doesn't want to fly like a bird? Sure, the graphics is not photorealistic, but I really don't expect that. And anyone who's in the first generation of kind of a VR gaming console for the PS4, if you're expecting GTA complete open world games that is completely in VR, you're fooling yourself, because you're not going to get that. But for what it is, I think the graphics that Eagle Flight has suits it perfectly, and it's actually really, really good. The only thing that I do notice with the graphics is the pop-in. So sometimes when you're flying in a higher area, you're flying through and swooping down, you see the trees kind of pop in a little bit. I'll try to see where I can show you that. So if you look down there, building less so, but the trees, yeah, I just crashed there. No, with the trees, you often see pop-ins when you are flying into a group of trees. So again, it's probably more processing power that just a drawing distance and the pop-ins. Well, that's not good. But I don't really notice it as much for buildings, but for the trees you do see it. So again, maybe a PS4 Pro might help with this. I don't know. I wish I've got one to try it and report back to you. But yeah, these are just little things that could make the graphics a bit better. But in terms of art style and how it looks right now, I think it looks really, really good. I'm really happy with how it looks. It really get me immersed into flying through the city of Paris. Yeah, I definitely recommend playing this game, especially if you always want to be a bird and always want to fly, or even just swoop through and play through. I've actually, since recording this, I've had my parents playing the game. I had my kids playing the games, and yeah, it's just some of the enjoyment that they get when they're flying through a town as a bird is quite amazing to watch. So it's definitely a game that is great for all ages, from young and old. I know that kids under 12 shouldn't play it, but with moderation I think it's fun. My mum had a great time playing with it. I told her to try to fly up the Eiffel Tower like I did earlier in the video, and she just can't get herself to look up to fly up. It just got so real for her that she just can't, she really don't want to smack the bird into the tower. So this is, it's really great fun. So I'm just doing a few runs here. I can get lost in playing this in free flight mode for hours and hours of it. I don't even need the objectives. Just flying through all the buildings in here, that's amazing. And just finding little tunnels that you can that's built into this town is great fun. So please stay with us, subscribe to us if you like what we're doing, and comment and let me know what else you want to see from our channel. I'm having a great time with pSVR. I hope you guys are too. So until next time, it's Warren from Overexposed 360, and have fun gaming.